unbelievable. I have no idea how they pulled it off. They came back in regulation. They came back in overtime, and the Pacers beat the Bucks. They win game 5. They're moving on. Oh, my gosh. So much to get to with Derek Kramer on today's Locked On Pacers podcast.
You are Locked On Pacers, your daily Indiana Pacers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Wednesday, y'all, and welcome into another edition of the Locked On Pacers podcast, where we, of course, talk about the moving on to the second round Indiana Pacers. My name's Tony East. I cover the team for Forbes, and today, holy smokes, oh my Lord, I need to use all the phrases. What an unreal, unforgettable game in Gainbridge Fieldhouse, game 5, down to the wire in regulation, down to the wire in overtime. The Pacers down 6 as the Bucks go to the stripe with 40 seconds to go. It looks dead. They look dead, and they win the game. A moment for Tyrese Haliburton, several moments for other players, an unforgettable game moment for the franchise. Yes, it's a first-round game, and yes, it was a ridiculous one. And Derek Kramer is going to join me today to break it all down. What just happened? How did the Pacers do that? They were down 20 in the first half and still came back. What just happened to Tyrese Haliburton overtime? What happened after the final buzzer? And so many more little notes from an insane game all coming today on Locked On Pacers. What just happened? Like, actually, what on earth just happened on this court behind us? Pacers beat the Bucks 119-118. They're moving on to the second round. And what many people in this building who've been around the Pacers for years and years, including the person with me, described as one of the craziest games they've ever seen. I have to put it up there very highly. Pacers down 7 with 40 seconds to go. They're down 6 late in regulation. They escape both scenarios and win 4-1 against the Bucks. I can't talk about it alone. I can't talk at all. I already tweeted. I'm out of words. Hopefully you're not. Derek Kramer from iPacersblog is here. Derek, what just happened?
I like you just said it, and I can't. That was just unbelievable. Like, I still can't come up with words to describe the incredible amazingness that just happened. I'm sitting right by the scorer's table where Tyrese Haliburton was standing, screaming at the crowd as his dad's getting into it with Giannis after the game. Unbelievable, amazing final 3 quarters, final minutes of both regulation and overtime. Incredible resilience for them to come away with this win. And now they get a much needed break before facing the Cavaliers.
You can talk about the regular season being different than the postseason all you want. That's true. But the Pacers told us this in March when they had all these crazy close games, similar one against the Mavs, a couple against the Nets, a couple more where they said these situations will help us in the playoffs. And today showed exactly why, because this is what I asked Myles Turner after the game. You are down 6. The Bucks are headed to the free throw line with 40 seconds to go. How do you focus? How do you not just go, dang, we got so close in overtime? And he said, to paraphrase and not use cuss words, that they were talking smack and telling them that they're a championship team and they've done this before. And the Pacers were mad, and they had a perfect 40 seconds. I mean, everything had to go right? With less than 2 shot clocks, you have to get some luck, right? But they got it via a missed free throw from AJ Green. Andrew Nembhard hits a huge 3 because Andrew Nembhard threes when he's beyond 30 feet are automatic. So don't go so close to the line, Andrew Nembhard. They got a Gary Trent disaster pass immediately after that. Haliburton and 1. Why are you fouling? If the Pacers scored 2 points for the Bucks, who cares? And then another disaster turnover because Gary Trent loses the ball. All that had to happen to set up a moment. Like it was unlike anything I've ever seen, to the point that even I thought when they were down 6 and AJ Green was sitting to line 40 seconds to go, it's probably over, even though I've seen the escape artist Pacers do this many times of late.
It's really just unbelievable. I mean, I know I've already said this, but yeah, like the Bucks were talking smack, and that's they talked about the Pacers being front runners. Well,
I have a line for that later. I hold on front runner jokes. I've got a great one coming. Please continue though.
Yes. Myles wouldn't say who was saying it. We can imagine. Bobby Portis. Always talking. If it was Gary Trent,
I will take no guesses.
It was Gary Trent.
Listen. Yikes. He did say that it was players who said we've done this before and won a championship. Trent was not on that team, so it was the first 2 names you said are probably the more likely culprits.
You could tell Gary Trent had not done it before. I mean,
He earned the right to smack talk, though.
He was insane.
Yeah,
insane in overtime. 4 straight threes.
He was insane in regulation.
In overtime. Yeah, another 30-point game for Gary Trent in this series. Just an unbelievable performance. And then has the turnover, passing it after the trap. Drew gets the steal, and then the ball going between his legs. Just everything had to go right for the Pacers to win this game, and everything had to go wrong for the Bucks to lose this game in the final 40 seconds, and it happened. Like, that was the Pacers got their version of the Eastern Conference Finals game 1. Like, it happened for them this time.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. The karma swings back. But wait, Derek, what if I told you in regulation with 1:19 to go, the Pacers took a timeout down by 4, and they were down by even more than that in the fourth quarter, and another time they looked fairly dead. We haven't even talked about the moments, like the Haliburton moments that made this possible, but another time after Giannis hits that floater and is fouled with 53 seconds to go to put the Bucks up 4. Again, I thought, man, valiant comeback from the Pacers, but like Gary Trent's doing this, Giannis is an amazing triple-double. Like, it's over, right? It's over. It was not, because they needed a lucky play. They got it because Kevin Porter Jr. decided to dribble for 14 seconds without passing to anyone for some reason and just missed. And Haliburton hit 2 free throws and then dunked it with 11 seconds to go. Like, a lot had to go their way that the Bucks kind of handed them, no doubt, but they had to make a ton of shots and free throws with their gifted chances, and they got every single one. I just talked about the Haliburton free throws, which he earned. The dunk, and everybody's going to say he should have been getting to the rim all game. Like, yeah, but also they were like trapping him at half court in the first quarter, and they could not get downhill at all. Like, as a team, something about the Bucks defense threw them off. I'm not giving him a pass, but whatever. The dunk got right to the rim and threw it down to tie the game. Huge moment, emphatic. Bucks had enough time for a shot, but they didn't hit it. And then late, when they were down 7 in the final minute, Nembhard's 3, humongous shot. I mean, Tyrese Haliburton said after the game, no one's going to talk about that play because they shouldn't. There were bigger moments, but huge. Like, for a guy who just had one rim out like 2 minutes before that, huge shot. Then Haliburton, after Andrew Nembhard steals the Gary Trent pass, just gets right to the rim. For some reason, the Bucks let him get into the middle lane. He went left. Well, AJ Green, you mentioned this to me after. Why are you fouling? Let him hit the shot. That was already a tough layup. Left-handed like that. That was an insanely impressive basket. Puts it in with the free throw. Massive shot. And let's talk about something major that happened after he made that. The Bucks could not get the ball in bounds, and they had to use their final timeout to avoid a 5-second call. That's significant.
And it would have been, if he didn't call the timeout, it was a steal by Nesmith.
Yes, they could not get it in. And then, of course, after the final play, Haliburton with the wiggle after the steal on the Gary Trent play. No timeout. And look at this. No one mad about no timeout when you score it. Everybody only blames it on the result. The starters were in the game. It was very easy, although Jarris Walker came out for Siakam, I believe. They were doing offense-defense subs late.
5 fouls on Siakam, so trying to avoid that.
Haliburton with the wiggle. They were switching in those moments, right? Siakam was setting all these screens for Haliburton, and that was either getting a mismatch for Siakam in the post that they went to almost too much, honestly, or Haliburton a mismatch for him to drive. In this case, it was Haliburton drive right to the cup for his 26 points. And look at that. The Bucks now out of timeouts. Yeah, they can chuck a full court shot, but it was over. I mean, they had to make all of those shots I just described and be out of timeouts because of that play and miss the AJ. It was unbelievable. I keep saying the same words.
Just count the number of times like Tyrese drove to the rim, both in regulation and overtime. Like, we've all been asking for, so like, you got to shoot the ball when you get that close to the rim. And he did it at least 5 times as they were making the comebacks. Rick Carlisle compared Ty to Reggie Miller after the game, just with his iron will, his body being very skinny, but very tough. And like, the game for me that it reminded me of was a Reggie game, the 2001 2002, when Game 5 against the Nets, when the Pacers were the 8 seed, and Reggie dunked through a couple people in overtime. He hit that giant 3. Like, the dunk that Ty had wasn't through a bunch of bodies, but you don't see Ty dunk in the half court very often, and you didn't see Reggie do that either. Like, 10 seconds left, he gets that to tie it, and then he just continues to go to the rim. He got a little bit 3 happy. They were good looks in overtime, but he got just a little too much when he was just getting to the rim at will, especially as he mentioned, like, they kept attacking Giannis because he had 5 fouls. So they felt like he couldn't be as physical because of that. So they kept going to that, and just unbelievable. Like we keep saying, just incredible performance. Other
shots or moments to me that will be lost to time. One is the steal that didn't happen that you mentioned with Nesmith, but he also in in overtime, gave the Pacers a lead with a tip layup that was just insane after a Haliburton missed layup that felt like a huge shot of the moment. Like, wow, I'm going to get to write about Nesmith. I didn't give him the lead. Did they? I can't remember. Right before Gary Trent his like millionth three in a row. That was a huge one. He also had a huge three late in regulation that like Nesmith quietly all series was just outstanding. I can't remember when
rebounds today. 12 rebounds.
Yeah, I can't remember when his three was in regulation. Maybe I'm tripping. It was a top of the key three, but he had a layup to give him the lead.
It was huge. It was there. I think they were down 6 when he hit that three.
Yeah,
it was right after the Bucks went up 6. The Pacers called timeout, and he had a three at the top of the key, I believe.
I'm having a shockingly hard time finding it. It must have been an overtime.
There's too many things. There's too many things that happen.
Too many. Yes, there it is. 1:40 to go. That cut it to 3 after Gary Trent hit his 1,000,000th -1 3-pointer in a row. Like it was, every player had to be like perfect and take advantage of the opportunities handed them by the Bucks. And the Pacers should have been better than this. Like Haliburton hit his first 3 in overtime and then just missed so many that like we've seen him make off the offensive rebound before. We've seen him make wiggle into his right before. And like, it's bad that he missed them, but they, in the moment you're thinking, man, you got to get a better look than that. And Gary Trent, meanwhile, couldn't miss. Like I got all the tweets about this is the Supermax guy getting outplayed by the minimum guy. Yeah, he got the last laugh there. But like, it was certainly frustrating. They were not getting anything they wanted until the final minute, and the Bucks were taking advantage until they didn't. Twice. I mean, you can't really like fault them for anything they did except for the turnovers. I mean, the missed free throws, that happens, I guess. Giannis missing the game winner in regulation. Yeah, that happens, whatever. The KPJ shot with 26 seconds to go, you and I have talked about that, felt like a huge mistake in the moment, and the 2 turnovers, obviously a disaster. And all of that was needed resolve from the. We're saying the same things over and over, but like that's what the game was. It was those moments.
Yeah, like the Bucks did everything they needed to do to win this game. Like they hit so many like clutch shots.
Trent and Green,
so
14
many.
of 27 from 3. Crazy.
And Trent was 4 for 12 at the end of regulation, like 4 for 5 in overtime. Like it's nuts. Like the Pacers had no business like winning this game with all those shots that the Bucks were hitting. And like we said, just everything went right in those last 40 seconds, every single thing. And they finished it off like to be down 33-13.
Yeah, well, that's where I was going
in the opening minutes of the second quarter. Like they'd scored like a point a minute. Like Rick is telling them to just effing hit somebody because of how much the Bucks were just way more physical, way more sense of urgency. And they clawed their way back slowly but surely. And then they kept falling more behind at the end, and they never gave in. It's just amazing resilience. Amazing.
Everybody, quick break to talk about 2 great groups of people. First up, CarGurus. Shopping for a car should not be exciting, not exhausting, but between the confusing prices and hidden fees, it can feel overwhelming. That is why I love CarGurus. They help you cut through the noise and show you the best deals with full confidence. Over 4 million listings, CarGurus has more new and used cars than any other major online marketplace in the U.S. They verify dealers, provide real price analysis, and give you the tools and data you need to make the right choice without second-guessing yourself. If you need a deal you can trust, CarGurus makes it easy. You can compare vehicles side by side. The best features, their price drop alerts. You know exactly when the perfect car is available in your budget. It's no wonder SimilarWeb estimated traffic data shows CarGurus is the #1 most visited car shopper site. Buy or sell your next car today with CarGurus at CarGurus.com. Go to CarGurus.com to make sure your big deal is the best deal. That's CarGurus.com. CarGurus.com. We also have got to talk about the wonderful people over at WayFair. Every style, every home. If you are in home project season, whether you're refreshing a room or tackling a full renovation, WayFair is the best kept secret for all those things home improvement. From small stylish cabinet hardware to major upgrades like new vanities, so many updates for your house. WayFair has quality products for every budget. I just upgraded the bathroom in my master bedroom, and I used WayFair for many things. The selection's incredible. Their free and fast shipping make it easy, and I love that they have top brands. No hauling heavy items from the store. Shopping is seamless. You find exactly what you need to fit your space and style. WayFair makes home improvement easy. Get started now at wayfair.com. That's WAYFAIR.com. WayFair, every style, every home. Yeah, that's where I wanted to go next. I mean, if you wanted to count the number of times Tony East thought and said, "Oh, they're done. They don't have this one." That when they were down 20, I didn't even get to make my jokes. I'll make them on this podcast. When they're down 20, I thought, oh man, like they were awful to start the game, like on both ends. Obviously, it was 30-3, 13. I think it was a minute into the second quarter, right? So they'd scored a point a minute for over a quarter. This is how the Pacers won their first 3 wins of this series. Was like offense was just comically easy, right? Whatever, and they had to work for it today a lot more. They had to get more creative. They had to go to the more star action mismatch hunting, which is not Pacers basketball, right? They did get good shots out of it. Siakam hit some huge ones late, but that's not Pacers ball. Like early, I don't even know what to say, because James Boyd was sitting next to me from The Athletic. I said, do you think this is something the Bucks are doing? Or is this like the Pacers were just side to side over and over, never getting into the paint at all? Nesmith had one floater in the paint, and like the bench came in and McConnell got there a few times. Mathurin got there like once. But in general, it was like a shocking inability. I'm not saying it wasn't even an unwilling inability to get into the lane. Siakam would dribble across the timeline, sees two Bucks defenders, he'd get off of it. They couldn't figure out what to do. So in some ways, it was the Bucks. They changed their starting five. They were being aggressive, and like Rick said, they were hitting. But okay, maybe you scored 13 points. Their defense was bad too. Like the Bucks weren't even that hot early, and the Pacers were getting no stops. It was just, it felt to me in that moment like, oh, this is classic Game 5 Pacers. They lost without Dame last year in Game 5. Like this, they got smoked by the Knicks in Game 5. Like we've seen this before, and they were only down 6 at halftime. They obviously recovered, but that was awful. That another thing that had to go right for them to overcome was that awful start.
The thing it reminded me of is my daughter played basketball for the first time this year as a second grader, and she had a couple games where she had to play against like fourth graders. It reminded me of that. Like they'd get the ball to half court, and then they'd have no idea what to do because they just started playing basketball, and they're playing kids that are a foot taller than them, way more physical. The refs aren't good. It's youth basketball. Why are they playing fourth graders? I have no idea. But that's what it felt like. It was like I was watching my daughter try to figure out what to do as these people just like manhandled them, and just it was like they never had played basketball before. I think the first 3 possessions of the game kind of summed it up.
Oh my gosh, yeah. What they start down 8-0, 10-0?
Like not even getting in the lane. They couldn't get it inside the 3-point line.
Their first possession was a shot clock violation, and their second possession was they shoot it because the shot clock violation was coming.
And I think the first time they got inside the lane was Siakam dribbling as the shot clock was going out to shoot.
Yeah.
It was just
awful. I'm sorry. Their first basket was 13-0, 4.5 minutes in, a Myles Turner 3 that they were just tossing around the perimeter. That was, by the way, at the end of the shot clock. Like they couldn't do it. It was, I don't know what they solved, or if it was just like finally fighting fire with fire physicality wise. The bench came in, and we'll talk about TJ McConnell later. Oh boy, was he good in this game. He ignited something a little bit with the second group, and then he came out, and the starters were down like 19 again, but they finally got some shots to fall. The defense was much better in that second quarter, and that's kind of what ignited them to have open space in the open floor. The fact that they were down, you never know how to feel about these, but the Pacers have a lot of games where they get to halftime either like down 6, and I feel like they played like crap, and I'm like, okay, they're going to win. And I thought that in this game, and then they didn't almost win. Or they're up 10 like in game 3, and they're not playing that well, and I think, oh man, they, like as soon as the Bucks figured out they're going to lose, like you can just tell by the way the game's flowing. This one was the former, where it's like they played that bad and they're down 6, like they could easily win this game, and it was never easy. They were never up more than 5 or 6 the whole way, and the Bucks had, like we already went through, a billion chances to put it away. But it's the escape artist Pacers, man. You can't beat these guys.
I think at halftime they were shooting 37% overall and like 22% from 3.
8 turnovers.
Like they had no business being anywhere near 6. Like TJ McConnell, like they desperately needed one of those, like TJ flips the switch of the momentum.
Mathurin gets in the paint somehow.
And he delivered. Like you can't give enough credit to TJ. Like 18 points in 17 minutes, like 7 for 11. Like he hadn't been good in a lot of games this series, and he was phenomenal. Like the fourth quarter, especially, like he got the Pacers a 5-point lead as he came out and got a standing ovation. And then the starters kind of struggled again before they finally picked it up as it looked like they were going to blow it. Like they don't win this game anywhere close without TJ McConnell starting to get things going.
We'll get to individuals very soon, actually. One thing, just got a text, Derek. Game 1, Sunday in Cleveland. Time to be determined. Tony East.
It's exactly what you wanted.
Tony East, for selfish reasons, would like Game 2 to be on Tuesday. Second thing, Key Bank won this game. Pacers down 17 in the first half, they go to a timeout. If you follow me on Twitter, you know what I'm talking about. I love when they play deal or no deal. Big cash prize deal or no deal game in a, I believe, 38-21 game. 40-23 at the time. Deal or no deal comes, and the Pacers get it to 9 like that. That's what it's all about. The cases have the power, baby. That you can see the graph. I tweeted it. That sparked the comeback. Where would they be without the KEY case thing? Okay, let's get to individuals. Juan from KeyBank. We just got to you. Good performance from Juan today. Yeah, you just did McConnell, and like his first half was sparking just that. Like he was the only guy who could get in the paint for the first 18 minutes of the game.
Yeah,
but he, all night. I mean, when he's hitting, he's just like a nightmare to defend because you have to just chase him around. And so other guys can relocate and move or, whatever, play off of that. And if like you mess up, someone has to switch. Like it's challenging. And these last 2 games has been hitting 18 points in 17 minutes and 3 assists. Like the bench was saved by his good play because last game when they dominated, the entire bench was great. Everybody was awesome, right? Like half the team had double-digit points and shot at 50%. Ben Mathurin was 2 for 3. Jarris Walker was 0 for 2. Obi Toppin was 1 for 3. Shepard didn't shoot. Like it was just TJ carrying those groups. His fourth quarter stretch, late third, early fourth quarter stretch was massive as well. When Giannis came out and he just started cooking, that was huge to tie up the game. By the end of the third quarter, they're cleaning up in here. Those are the trash bags being fluffed. Derek's not used to these noises that I've had to record through for the postseason. He was amazing, as we already went through. I mean, look, you and I did the Haliburton Moments podcast together. His 3 biggest shots are against the Bucks, but like to finally put something together with some force was just, I mean, he missed a double by an assist. I think he would have had one every game in the series.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just such a hard cover for defenses when he's playing at his absolute best. And the Bucks found out the not fun way that like, the Siakam Haliburton 2-man game is extremely hard to cover late in games.
Yeah, and you talk about the Siakam, like this was his worst game of the series. Like really struggled to get things going. So many trash bags. But
fight through it.
Like Siakam got a couple of those. Like they needed buckets in the clutch, and he delivered. Even though this was not his night in the slightest.
No,
just like he got them when they counted. Like it looked like the stars were going to be the reason that they lost the game for a long time. Like. Tyrese hadn't done a whole lot until late when they really needed it, and Pascal was in single digits almost the entire game until towards the end of regulation. I thought one other thing we haven't talked about with Tyrese's performance: 3 steals and 3 blocks. He had two in a row,
possessions that were immense.
Yeah, he just speaks to like he admits he's not the best on-ball defender, but it speaks to like his event creation on defense has been like top notch this season, and in the past he's been a good steals off the ball, but to get that block where he gets into the play behind Bobby Portis, gets the block there, and then the next possession doubles on Giannis and gets the steal as he's dribbling, and then the Pacers got the lead. I think it was 95-94 with Aaron scoring in transition on that play. Like it looked like the Pacers were gonna that was gonna be the momentum, and they were just gonna kind of run away with it at that point with the crowd getting so into it. Obviously it didn't end up being that easy. But like he was good on both ends. Like obviously he lost Gary Trent plenty of times. We've talked about
no. All of you, listen up. Look me in the eyes if you're watching on YouTube. They're not losing the shooters. Every time AJ Green or Gary Trent would set a screen and Giannis is the ball handler, they kept 2 on Giannis. Preventing Giannis from getting to the rim is more important than leaving those shooters open. I don't know what the number is.
He doesn't actually set a screen half the time.
Listen, I don't know what the number they have to hit in a row for me personally to say, fine, I'll guard that guy instead. Gary Trent probably crossed it, but like it's a lot. It's a lot. Giannis shot at the rim is like a 50% 3. Yes, Gary Trent hit 8 in a row. That's fine. That exceeds it. I don't think that was actually that weird that they were covering it that way. And like Trent would ghost off the screen. Nesmith should just rise up and cover him, and Haliburton axes out to the corner. Like it just. Everybody's like, how are they not guarding?
They did a couple times, but then the other one would be wide open because Nesmith would leave him, and then the other guy's wide open.
And everybody's like, how are they not guarding him? They are. Do you see that Greek guy? Do you see him? I don't know. Maybe I'm complaining too much. But yes, that was a problem. And here's the thing. You just said a million scenes for things I wanted to get to because so Siakam hits his first shot after they get to that 2-man game on a Haliburton assist. It's 91-89 with 5:30 to go. Gary Trent hits, this is hand tracking, so I might be wrong, his third 3 in a row of did it get to 8? It was 8 or 9. My God, it's insane how good that guy was in the series.
Yeah, I can't remember.
And the Pacers take a timeout, or the Bucks take a timeout right before that third three. So the Pacers are now down 5 after a Bucks momentum play and their shooters going. Then Siakam hits a turnaround, one important because he kept doing that. That was the one in the lane where he had some wiggle going to his left. That's when Haliburton's defensive plays happened in a 3-point game with 4 minutes to go. Bobby Portis gets what looks like an open layup. He runs down, crashes into the paint for a block. Myles Turner scoops it up. Siakam scores again from Haliburton. The 2-minute game was running. Then Giannis is trying to turn in for a shot, and he comes in for that turnover too and gets the steal for that one. That leads to a bucket for Nesmith. So he had 3 assists in like 2 minutes, 2 of them to Siakam just because they were mismatch on the 2-man game, and one he created on his own steal. That was one of his best defensive stretches this whole series, and it could not have come at a better time.
I'm out of words.
Okay, let's.
Who else can we talk about for this game? We haven't mentioned Andrew Nembhard.
I wasn't getting to him yet, but he was good.
Continues to just be like the complete opposite of himself in the regular season from behind the arc. In the postseason, still has the issue where he has his foot on the line occasionally, but 3 for 5,
23.7 feet and in, money, 30 feet and out, money, in between those distances, because the corner is inside those distances. So that is my theory on Nembhard. Sorry.
No, you're good. But once again, just like continues to hit big shots and big moments. Uncharacteristically, like 1 for 8 on actual 2s that he wanted to be 2s. Because he keeps having his feet on the line on some of these 3s. And his defense, like against Kevin Porter, like the Doc finally went to his best lineup to start the game. To start the game. And like the Pacers matchup should be like, that's a lot better than you feel about TJ trying to guard Kevin Porter Jr. or Ben trying to guard Kevin Porter Jr. Obviously, it did not look good early in the game in any way, but I thought Nembhard did a great job on Porter the entire game.
Agreed.
Like forced him into some dumb shots that he shouldn't have taken. We talked about the terrible decision he made towards the end of the game. Like Drew's just so important to everything this team does, giving the Pacers a secondary ball handler when they're forcing the ball out of Ty's hand, giving them another option to set up the offense and make plays. And then he's just hitting like so many important 3-pointers that it's incredible what he's been able to do.
One more break here, guys. We got to talk about game time. There's nothing like the atmosphere of an NBA playoff game. Trust me, I just saw when every bucket, every defensive stop, every moment feels huge. It's electric in the arena, and with Game Time, you can be a part of it without the stress of last-minute ticket hunting. Game Time makes it fast and easy to get playoff tickets, even when demand is sky high. Prices on the app actually go down as tip-off gets closer, and their last-minute deals can save you up to 60%. Many people use Game Time for those last-minute deals, saving 60% for sports, even concerts, comedy, and theater. Is thrilling. They're all in pricing, means no surprise fees at checkout. What you see is what you pay. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Okay, Myles Turner, 10 free throw attempts, 4 offensive rebounds. Like little stuff king today. Didn't hit the jumpers the way he did in game 4, but I feel incredibly good about my Myles Turner X Factor prediction for the series, by the way. I think that was pretty good, although the guy I would have felt better about had I picked him was Aaron Nesmith, who just, what a terror these last 2 games. He made half his 3s today, including a huge one we talked about. Led the Pacers in rebounds and offensive rebounds today. Actually, both ends rebounding today. 3 assists, no turnovers. Anytime you're guarding Giannis at all, it's going to hurt like crazy. 5 fouls. Playing on a hurt back, by the way. Wouldn't have known if you watched him play. What a freaking trooper. The Die For You Aaron Nesmith series with the Key Bank game today. He was awesome the last 2.
Just the quotes from his teammates the last 2 games. Ty saying he would die for this. Aaron saying, yeah, that's pretty much right. And then Myles today saying he must be made of vibranium or something after taking that fall and just like still playing so well. Like his improvement over the last 2 years, like he's able to do so much more off the dribble. Like you think about what he looked like in summer league when he decided to play after the trade, and like anytime he dribbled, it was a disaster. Like his improvement like has been, I think, probably the best improvement the Pacers have had over these last couple years. And just like him turning into a starter at this level, like contributing so much.
A 2-point finisher. Like, where did that come from?
It's just fantastic. And he's hitting his threes in the playoffs this year. You can't give enough credit to Aaron Nesmith. And I think that, like, the thing, we can bring up so many players in this game, and like that's kind of the theme of the whole series. Like the Pacers have so many guys that can contribute.
Yep.
And they fit together so well. And the Bucks have Giannis, and they're hoping like two other guys hit. Like they can't even count on like the same two guys in consecutive games. And the Pacers have at least 5 every night that are gonna be pretty good.
This was the first game Trent and Green were hitting in the not that like they were both ever awful or anything, but they both hit for the first time today, and that's a tough thing to overcome. But obviously, no Dame, a lot of other stuff going on for the Bucks really hurt. Okay, Jarris Walker, good defense today. They subbed him in for offense, defense subs in overtime. I thought that was noteworthy. Obi Toppin had like a quieter series than I expected, but it felt like every 3 he made was like during a 9-0 Bucks run the whole series.
He hit 1 3 with Giannis in his face, like
in the corner.
That was huge shot.
All right, Thomas Bryant, 0.00 seconds. Love a rebounding sub. Good for him.
He came in. I didn't even realize he came in.
Yeah. Okay, I have a lot of things to ramble through, so you have to listen for a second.
Go for it.
1, I'm sitting at the Pacers broadcast table. Congratulations to the FanDuel crew on a great year. And they do not get playoff games next year. They're all national, I believe, is how the broadcast is transforming. Great way to send them out. Kristen, Ari, JJ, Quinn, that whole group, they're awesome. They've been awesome all year. And again, shout out to the Pacers for giving them a very memorable final one. That was fantastic. 2, let's talk about the word front runner, Derek. Please, just allow me for a second. Okay, we're going to go through the Locked On Pacers YouTube channel for a second. Pacers Bucks Game 1 podcast, 44 comments. Pacers Bucks Game 2, 44 comments. Pacers Bucks Game 3, 89 comments. That's the one the Bucks
that's
won.
Weird.
A lot of gloating in the comments that day. Pacers Bucks Game 4, 51 comments. What weird that people would only talk smack about the series when they were winning a game. I do think Ty has some more yapping tendencies when the Pacers are winning, but that's how it is. That's how people are. That's just
right.
That's
what you're supposed to do. Like
no, it's not
you're
what
winning.
You're supposed to do. Like you're probably supposed.
I mean, you're not supposed to do it when you're down 2-1 in a series, and that's the only time you're talking. But I mean,
maybe I'll get a billion comments today. Bucks fans, I'm so sorry. You guys were very nice to me all series. I appreciate the compliments, but it drove. I did laugh going through that earlier today. I had to bring it in. 3, we have to. I mean, it's a huge story. I have to talk about what happened after the game. There was some cordial like handshake interactions at midcourt. You can see I filmed that. Giannis and Ty, big handshake. Ty's doing the Netflix doc that's name is escaped me, Starting 5. So he goes off and the camera crew's right behind him. But right as the buzzer sounds, John Haliburton, his dad, goes out in the court and he's waving a towel and he's looking at Giannis. Should not be doing that. Absolutely should not be doing that. He knows it, I think. Tyrese told us after the game, he told his dad, don't do that. Keep it between the basketball players. And Giannis, after that exchange, by the way, normal high five, dap, respect moment with Tyrese right by where his dad was sitting, right? But that I mean, just to people like that just can't happen. That just should not happen. Can't be a thing that happens. And again, Ty said, no, that I told my dad that can't happen. And then I don't know what happened between Mathurin and Giannis, but it looks like Giannis puts his hand on the back of Mathurin's head. Don't know what they were saying. I'm sure that made Mathurin upset from what I know of him as a competitor. We did not get many details on that because we didn't talk to Ben Mathurin after the game, but all that's just kind of like I get the rivalry part of this. Kevin Porter Jr. is in the middle of some stuff going on. Like I'm okay with the scrum after the game in general, but it felt like, especially with Ty's dad, as he acknowledged, a line was crossed there. That should not have happened.
Yeah, and it was like, Tyrese had to address it. Like said, like he can't do that.
And you could see he left the court. He's not. Usually, some players are like, oh, I didn't know about that, but like they did. He did not. He literally, there's no way he could have done.
No. Yeah, he was up on the scorer's table. Had no idea. He said he had no idea till he got back to the locker room. Yeah, no, they played each other 20 times in the last 2 years. So 20 times.
That is crazy.
So like you're gonna have
and between the IST twice and what would this be, 10, 11 playoff games? So 13 of them with like real stakes too. That's crazy. I mean, that's just crazy.
Yeah. Like
that can't be right, but that is right. No, it's 11. It's 11. I can do math.
Yeah.
No, it is 13. Whatever. Keep going.
Well, we had the game ball incident. No, we had
These teams hate each other.
the IST finals with Ty, checking the Dame time. We had the front runner talk in the playoffs last year. We had the Pacers winning the series. Obviously, anytime you have a series, you're going to have some stuff in between them, and then and it continued this year. It's fun. It's the fun part of basketball. It'll be very interesting to see what these Bucks look like next year.
Yes, agreed.
Because who knows? Who knows?
Giannis is unique, one of one. The overseas stars have not ever been the demand to trade types yet in the NBA. I was joking with you though, if you had to make a checklist of bad things that could happen to the Bucks that would make Giannis not want to be there, several of them have happened in the series, unfortunately. And I hope he stays. The NBA is better when these small market teams have terrific players and terrific talents. But we will totally see, because it's tough without Lillard for a lot of next year. It just sucks the way that.
I guess you can cross the Pacers off the list for Giannis after today, probably.
Yeah, I might be skipping that podcast in June, everybody. I apologize. Okay, anything else from this series? Oh, yeah, it's big that they won in 5 because of the way the schedule works in the NBA. Round 2 can't even start till May 3rd. I already said it's going to start May 4th, so they get 4 days now to prep for Cleveland, which, given that Cleveland's going to have almost a week, that's huge. There can be no rest debates. These teams are going to be ready for each other. That's a big part of winning in 5-2. I asked Myles that after the game also. Cavs are really good. That's going to be tough.
The opening of this game looked like the Cavs were playing the Heat again. Unbelievable. That I just kept looking at the score. What is the score? 66 to 23.
It was unbelievable.
What is this? What is happening?
By the way,
they weren't gonna get swept. What is going on?
Without their second best offensive player, but sometimes their best offensive player for 2 games. That's gonna be a tough series. Any other notes from Pacers Bucks? I was wrong. I thought it'd take the Pacers 7. It took them 5. Dame got hurt, but they for 3 wins and half of a loss and another half of a win, they just were sublime on offense. And I think I undersold how easy it would be for them to score would be my big takeaway from the series. I'll talk more about that tomorrow.
Yeah. What were the Pacers in these 20 games? 13-7. I don't want to hear anything else about the Bucks being injured. The Pacers are the better team. They beat Giannis.
Wow.
I don't want to hear anything else.
I was so resistant.
You can't stay healthy. It's been 4 straight years where the Bucks haven't been healthy in the playoffs.
Hater alert.
I am.
I respected Giannis' series so much. He was awesome. He
was incredible. He was incredible.
The whole Pacers game plan was defending him
and it didn't matter.
Come hell or high water. Yeah, it did not matter, right? Triple-double tonight. 30-point triple-double. Bobby
30,
Portis.
30, 20, 10, and over on all those, right?
Bobby Portis, I get he gets under player skins. I get he gets under fan skins. He's actually a tough, he's real tough, not fake tough.
He could have got 3 texts tonight, and they didn't call any of them.
So could the Pacers.
Sure, but there's one where Bobby.
I have a lot. What I want to finish is I have a lot of respect for Bobby Portis. I think he played well and was actually very impactful mentally and basketball wise in this series.
I don't understand how he doesn't get texts sometimes. The Giannis floater.
I don't want
Giannis floater and one where Giannis scores. Bobby just leans over Neesmith and just screams in his face.
What? Final notes. Congrats to Gary Trent on his upcoming very well-earned payday as a free agent in the summer.
He's getting paid.
He is. And congrats.
Just don't watch those 40 seconds, suitors. For Gary
Trent. Congrats to Jarris Walker for playing more and better than I thought in this series. And at times, Thomas Bryant, who outside of playing 21 minutes in Game 3 was quite good. Derek, my computer is at 26%. It is time for us to wrap up. So tomorrow I'll look back on this series and what the Pacers did well. And then come Thursday, Cavs time, baby. Danny Cunningham going to be in the house. Derek, where can people find you, the things you have to say? And I'm sure a story coming soon about this game in the series.
Yes, I am glad that we have 4 days because that means I have lots of time to write about this game and this series and then the Cavs. I love multiple days off between games because it helps me so much trying to write things about this team. I have a lot of things that I want to write. Definitely got to cover Ty. I need to write about Aaron Neesmith. Just
he was amazing.
Awesome performance.
Just amazing.
I want to write about him. Want to write about TJ. So hopefully I have a lot of things coming at iPacers.com. You can catch the things I tweet and say about them online at Blue Sky, at iPacers, and at Twitter at iPacersblog. Thanks for having me. Take me up on my idea to do it on the court if they won in 5.
Amazingly, my computer did in fact die. as Derek was talking there. So the outro for me, I am on Twitter and Blue Sky at Tony Arias. This podcast is at Locked On Pacers. Thanks to Derek for joining me. We were both still just what the heck just happening in the arena. Tomorrow's show, one more time, looking back at Pacers Bucks, how the Pacers pulled the series off, why they did it more effectively than many thought, including me. I picked Pacers in 7. They won in 5. And then Thursday, so Friday it'll come out. Danny Cunningham and I will record talking Pacers Cavs. He's the host of Locked On Cavs. You've heard him here on this show several times this season because it's time for that. Game 1 is Sunday, and then plenty more coming on that one. We don't stop every single day, including weekends on the show, until the Pacers are eliminated. Thank you all so much for listening today. Hope you enjoyed a crazy game. See you tomorrow.